Hello guys, how you all doing? This is MKD SMARTVIEW. So right about today now, from ID 86 incoming, we'll be going on what? The option of lows from here. So from ID 86, we'll be going on option low from here on. Now I want to explain something which I've always explained in the previous videos before we move ahead. Now in the system of what high-low, we have what? 3 standard procedures. Number 1 is to check the 24-hour statistics to have what? The relevance of a high or a low. Once you get that, you proceed over to the 100 draws where you make confirmation of either you have a high or a low. This is where you want to make confirmation. Then number 3 is entry. At this given stage now, you want to look into the what? Last 10 draws. Once you get that now, you look for what? Momentum, you look for slack, you look for balance, you look for rebalance, they look for what? Change in delivery. Now either you get what? A balance or rebalance system or a change in delivery for entry, but momentum and slack are what? Standard procedures you have to what? Follow. So once you get that now, the next thing you're looking for is to get a gameplay of 6/10. That is the first. Then number 2, a martingale that does not exceed 4. So you might feel that these systems are rather very simple until you try it and you see how exhausting it can be and how what? Impractical it could be if your analysis is not what? Top notch. So get that in. So following up with that now, you have to what? Go in for a gameplay after what? Making confirmation. In that sense now, your 24 hours should have been eligible, your 100 draws would have been eligible. Then you know what you're looking for. Once you know what you're looking for, the next thing is to know if it's what? Available on screen here. So once you know it's available on screen, you start your gameplay. Now for the first gameplay here, we had what? A medium. For the second gameplay, we had a low. As I told you, from ID 86 we are starting on what? On lows. So from ID 86 to ID 97, which is a total of 10 gameplays, or ID 102, which is a total of 15 gameplays, we'll be stopping our gameplay on the Bet9ja system. For the winning color, for the Rainbow 2 Plus, for the Bet0, you can stick as long as you want. But when it comes over what? To the high-low, 10 games is okay, 15 games is okay. You make 50%, 45%, 65% of what? Your total stake within 10 to 15 draws. If you can win 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, you understand, or so on. So let's get on now. From ID 86, we are playing on lows. Let's see how far we are getting with that in the next few minutes. I'm expecting nothing less than 6 out of 10 and a max lock streak according to what? The setup on screen of not more than 2 times. So let's get on to that now. So we started from ID what? 80, okay, rather ID 86 here. We've won 87 and 88. We have here on a mid, we have here what? On a high. So all the way to ID what? 95. So ID 86 to ID 95. So by ID 95 here, as I stated, we should have what? 6 or more than 6 out of 10, which is pointing towards the option of what? Lows. So let's go on now as we proceed. We need 6 out of 10, if it's possible more than 6 out of 10. So we've gotten ourselves another one. So we've so far gotten what? 3 out of 5 here. So 1, 2, 3 out of 5. Now one major thing, this system of what? High-low seems easy. You understand me? Seems like, oh yeah, it's something that is very much doable. But look at these statistics now on the all time. The chances of you having what? High, going on a max win streak, which means at a go on a streak, is 19 times. You cannot get enough what? Staking plan to cover this up if you're using martingale. The highest for the low is also what? 19 times, which means that the first problem you can have here is not getting yourself the right statistics, not knowing what to looking for. Anyone who is looking for highs here will fail woefully. Anyone looking for lows here will fail woefully. Anyone who sees himself hanging in a situation whereby there was no signal to proceed into making a gameplay will lose all 4 martingale staking here. So get that and get that clear. It's not all about what? Randomly feeling like, yes, 2.00 odds is high, I can what? Take a gamble with it. You can see a situation whereby you are playing low. For 7 draws straight, you see highs. You can see 4 medium, or you can see 8 highs. There are some cases whereby you'll be playing, you see 10 highs. You understand me? But if you follow up with what? momentum slack technique. After you've made confirmation from the 24 hours and 100 draws, you will know when to make entry, and once you make entry, you follow up with the gameplay. So let's get on now as we proceed on this. So far we started on what, ID 86. We've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4 out of what, 7. It's still decent with the fact that we've not made 2 losses on a row. One major thing is the fact that people do not really understand how the high-low works. High-low just needs you to what, be consistently picking out your options. You don't want to see a situation whereby you enter the gameplay, you are playing low now, you see high, 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 high. Do you understand me? Something like this is a decent gameplay. If you start on with the high-low, you understand that this is actually what, a very decent gameplay. High-low and your Rainbow 2+ is not the same. It's not the same with your Bet9ja. It's not the same with your what, winning color. Most of the time, you are going to find yourself what, in a ranging system like this. If you get it at a very good time whereby momentum is high, you can see low 1, low 2, low 3, low 4. Do you understand me? But a ranging system like this is what, not a problem at all. So let's look at now. We started this at ID 86. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 8. So as I told you, 6 out of 10 is okay, 7 out of 10 is okay. We have ourselves 5 out of 8 so far. It's okay. This is profitable, and we've not lost more than 1 in a row. Very, very decent. So get that in mind. We have 2 more gameplays. If we do not have the need of a recovery after then, we end it, and I will explain the calculation of how this actually works. Alright, now we have what, a high here. Now we're going in for our last gameplay, which is ID what, 95 here. So we've gotten ourselves so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 9. If we get a what, 6 out of 10, that's what, pretty decent. 5 out of 10 is still profitable, but we have to stretch the game towards what, recovery. You don't end the gameplay in loss, you must go over to recovery. That's why I stated 10 to 15 gameplays. The 11, 12 gameplay most of the time goes in for what, a recovery. But if at the 10th period you are on a winning gameplay, you don't need to go in for recovery most of the time. You don't need to stretch it to 15. But in a case that 10 loss, you can go in for what, a recovery. So we have this now to ourselves. That's a total of what, 6 out of 10 here. So medium, low, low, high, low, high, low, low, high, low. 6 out of 10. Now get this whole thing here. As I stated, 6 out of 10 will give you 45 to 55% profit. Now you have a total of, let's say, 11,000 naira here. If you want to go in for 1,000 naira per stake, in fact 10,500 is okay. If you are going in for 1,000 by every draw. Now the first draw you lost out, you are not going to count this because you are sticking in with 1,000 naira here. Second gameplay, you use 1,500, you made 3,000. You minus 1,000 you use here, you minus 1,500 you use here, you've made a profit of what, 500 naira. Third gameplay, use 1,000, you made what, 1,000. Fourth gameplay, you lost what, 1,000. Fifth gameplay, you what, used 1,500. Now you've made 3,000 with 2.00 odds, you've made 500 naira. Fifth gameplay, you lost what, 1,500 because what, you lost right here. Sixth gameplay, you made a recovery with 1,000. Okay, yes, you started the fresh gameplay rather with 1,000. Now you made what, 1,000 naira here. Sixth gameplay, you went in 1,000, you made 1,000 here. Ninth gameplay rather here, you went in with 1,000, you lost the 1,000. For the 10th gameplay, you went in with 1,500 for recovery, and you what, 1,500 after recovery because 1,000 lost. 1,500 second stake times 2.00 or 3,000 naira. 3,000 minus the 1,500 you use here is what, 1,500. Then minus the 1,000 for the initial stake you lost, 2,500. So 500 naira profit. Now once you get onto that, you have yourself 500, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 4,500. So out of what, 11,000, you've made what, 4,500. That's around what, a 40% of your capital available. So this is how it works. You don't need 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 for the high-low. High-low just needs you to what, number one, don't have stretches of losses. The number 2, 6 out of 10 is decent. So that's it. On the system for high-low, martingale can be used. You can make use of a straight gameplay, but making use of a straight gameplay means that if you win just 6 out of 10, you make 1 out of 10 of your entire capital. That means if you are winning 6 out of 10, you get what? In the case you are making use of 1,000 naira to stake, you get only 1,000 naira as profit. But when you're looking at what the martingale system, in that same 1,000 naira on martingale, you could get 4,000, you could get 4,500, you could get 5,500. So that's the difference. Now, more risk on the martingale, but more reward still on the martingale. So that will be the end of this video for today.